Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and follow no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Fellas, Beards and Brews is going to the Saturn Awards this year.
Hell yeah, we're moving on up.
Going to be represented by our very own Chandler, who's looking forward to potentially sitting next to Jennifer Tilly in all of her thick-aliciousness.
Thick-aliciousness. Good thing the movie that we're going to talk about this week has good old Jennifer Tilly in it. That'll be Bride of Chucky. What'd you think?
Jesse's Girl, starring Wormtongue. I'm all about it. I'm a huge fan of shitty, I know what I am horror movies where you just go, this is dumb on purpose and we're all having fun and this hits the mark.
Yeah, this was my pick, and this is a movie that I've seen probably 20, 30, 40 times. I've watched it ad nauseum in my teenage and early adult, and now my actual adult years. It's just one of those movies I always come back to. It's a great balance of horror and comedy. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Hey, remember that time last week when I said I'd be the middleman because I have no real strong opinion? Well, he's back this week too. I don't have any nostalgia for this movie. I don't really hate this movie, but man, this movie is Scream's fault. Fucking Scream flipping the script on a horror and making it so self-aware. That's why this movie exists.
I'm all for it, honestly. All for it. This movie is extremely self-aware. You've even got little homages here and there and everywhere to all of the big horror franchises.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it.
Those are pretty clever, but seeing Jason Voorhees' mask and the evidence locker, I was just like, all right, okay, I get it. It's a horror.
Right off the bat in that first evidence locker scene, you got Jason's mask, the chainsaw from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Michael Myers mask, Freddy's glove. You got all of them in there.
Well, fuck, they should just put Chucky just right out in the open. It's yeah, I'll take that one. What was that, B5? Sunk my battleship.
They kept his ass in a trash bag, and Jennifer fucking Tilly has to pay some cop that looks like Eminem for a little head.
Oh. Yeah, cop goes into the evidence locker just like she says, gets a little garbage bag, and good to go. Just try to deliver it to old girl. Meanwhile, Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie comes on. There's a lot of new metal in this movie, and I love it.
I had the deepest, heartiest gut laugh that I've had in a good while when they just straight up dropped Rob Zombie on a shot of her just leaving a room. Not even anything important. It's just so loud, and she's just leaving a place.
She's in latex and her ass is swaying like the fucking wind, bro.
Yeah, and she did just kill a guy. She didn't give him the money. She was just like, no, I'm going to slit your throat and then take this garbage bag full of doll parts.
Well, of course. Did you see the guy that they picked, the cop? His fucking name is probably Jason Kill Me Now. He's so murderable.
Yeah, he got his throat cut and his blood spilled out all over his sweater like Mom's spaghetti.
Oh.
Spaghetti.
Get the fuck out of here. But to be fair, regarding Jennifer Tilly, the next line that I have down there is, damn, she looked good, as she stitches up those doll parts back together to recreate the Chucky.
Just
okay.
Chucky.
That was fun, though. Franken Chucky looks fucking awesome. And that little doll parts scenario thing, it actually pays off really well. And I think it's one of the highlights of the movie.
Well, I know, this is supposed to be, a super self-referential movie. Almost pretty much taken apart from, the previous three. But it did kind of bug me, they just, retconned everything. And they're just yeah, I used to bang this old murdery dude back in the 80s. I've been trying to make his doll come back to life since then.
Don't care. I don't care. I like this better than all three of the early movies, the 80s movies.
Fuck you.
I just like this balance. I know it's probably just nostalgia speaking, but the balance between the self-referential comedy and, it being a part of the horror series that is Child's Play, that's the sweet spot to me. Give me more of it.
Child's Play 2 is a fucking masterpiece with lines like, eat dirt, Tommy, and we're friends, right? Open the goddamn door. Come on.
We're friends, right? Wrong.
This has some great dialogue as well. Who the fuck is Martha Stewart?
All right, listen. That's beautiful. Second, I will reiterate what I said before the cast when we were just goofing off. Everything that comes out of Chucky's face, I forget the gentleman's voice actor, who's from West Virginia. Hey, look, alumni. But everything he says with such conviction. Like, it doesn't even matter what horseshit the writers put him in or whatever parody nonsense scene he's in. He's still Chucky.
There should be no reason why Chucky, maybe 2 foot tall doll, should be able to deliver the line, I give him 6 months. Pause. 3 if she gains weight. To have as much fucking weight as it does. It works so fucking well. Brad Dourif, hats off.
He's such a white trash shitbag.
Yeah, he is. I was actually thinking about that because, like, once they show where like Jennifer Tilly's character lives in this like old streamliner thing, I was like, God damn, why is it always the white trash? They're good for 2 things: 1, summoning demons; 2, cannibalism.
Cannibalism?
I thought Chucky lived in like some old abandoned house in Detroit when it really turned out he lives in a van down by the river.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, like, why was his corpse in New Jersey?
Drugs.
Nobody wants to go to New Jersey, even when you're fucking dead.
I figured that's how he stayed away from the cops so easy. Like, oh, can't cross state lines. But once Tiffany gets her little man all the way back together, she tries to do some more of that classic Santeria voodoo that we've known so well. The Ade Due Dambala, give me the power, I beg of you. Meanwhile, he's just laying there in a pile of corn flour.
Yeah, it's very true. It's enriched. Don't forget about it.
And
then,
that's why it works.
Oh, it's the enrichment, the niacin and vitamin A.
100%.
Oh, nice. Well, all the while, she invites one of her, like, boyfriends or whatever, and, like, this dude totally looks like everybody from Queen of the Damned.
Oh, I was like, this not Twiggy looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
he takes his shirt off, and I was like, dude, nice tribal, you know?
This is a thirsty little goth boy. He is thirsty and simping over Tiffany so hard.
Did we mention that she's like hot AF?
Has the audience seen Jennifer Tilly before? Like visually?
Like, hang on. Give him the minute. All right. There you go.
But it turns out she's got a thing for killers, seems right. So he's trying to show off, trying to get into her good graces or something by showing her a photo of this guy that he just massacred. No, it's just him. He's wearing the same nail polish. He's just a pussy.
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody. He's just being a big old wuss, trying to work up to his first murder. Meh.
All that fucking nonsense aside, she's like, look, I have the Chucky doll. And he's like, Jesus Christ. All right, look, I know you're obsessed, but this shit's weird. And she's like, be careful. Chucky's got a temper. And he does what any fucking dude would do. He's like, oh, what's he going to do? And he picks him up and fucking mime, butt fucks him, and throws him on the couch.
They comes him, then just throws him on the other side of the room. No, we don't need you anymore.
I mean, the dude tries really hard to get in her pants.
Does.
I mean, he's just like, listen, how long we been going out? And she's like, what? He's like, no. Now you have to.
No, the part that gets me is, you know what the French call the orgasm? Le petit
Royale with
mortier.
cheese. Oh.
There's an awful lot of cheese on this.
Took out the big brain on Brad Dourif as Chucky, as he face suffocates this little fucking goth dude. Man, there's not a lot of times where you're rooting for someone to die, but the second he comes into frame to the second he goes out, you go, yep, good.
Yeah, he's gonna die some point in this movie. Oh, it's right now? Alright, cool.
I mean, he even tore out his like little lip ring and everything just to make matters worse. Like, the next thing he could have done was probably like grate off his stupid tattoo. It wasn't real.
So Chucky just kills this guy. Just sits on his face with a pillow in between, and is just like, "Hey, how you doing, Tiff? How you been? You look good."
Okay, this is the only way I want exposition to ever be delivered to me again via striptease. All right, she's telling you everything that's going to go down, everything that's led up to this point, everything they need to do while taking off her clothes. And I was like, I'm thoroughly paying attention.
I think Brady just invented naked news.
Have you ever watched Mexican news? If you haven't, you should, because it's basically entirely delivered by like half-naked women. That's their thing.
Yeah, like thick booties and busting tees to tell you that there's a cold front coming in and to turn around to face the screen with hard nipples.
To have a warm front down south, if you know what I mean. Whew.
Know what I mean?
Yes. So now we get introduced to the, I guess, B-plot characters, because no one gives a shit about these two kids. It's
Nope.
Jesse and his girl, and they can't be together for plot reasons. We got Lieutenant Cockblock, played by fucking John Ritter.
It was so weird to see him in this role, because, like, oh, I know he, especially in his later years, he, tried to get, like, more, I don't know, like, asshole-ish roles, because, he wanted to, like, broaden his horizon, remember? But, man, it's just, like, sweet old John Ritter just being a dick.
Yeah, he doesn't come off as mean. He just comes off as, like, a dick. And you go, John Ritter, no, quit it.
Not being a dick, John Ritter.
Yeah, it's like, come on. You got the uniform on all the time?
All the time. It's because they had him for one day.
You're right. You could just hear him yelling in the back, pissed because his chair says John Ryder.
Oh my god.
No, you don't get a chair. You don't get to sit down. We got to go.
Probably not wrong, to be honest.
Anyway, he's the chief of police. His niece likes this boy who is I don't know, I guess a scumbag or something. I don't know. He seems all right to me.
Yeah, he just seemed like high school kid. Excuse me, 30-year-old high school kid.
30-year-old ripped high school kid.
Yeah, like the second we saw him like with his shirt off, I thought that was a different kid. I just thought that was
too.
Yeah, me too. It actually took me a long while to figure out that was the same person. It took up until the part where he got the money from Tilly. I was like, oh, now it's road trip time. And
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole fucking road trip. This movie literally turns into a road trip because marriage is a joke to Chucky.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% right. So I guess just to fill in the gaps, Jennifer Tilly gets turned into mini Jennifer Tilly. Her and Chucky are both dolls. What are they going to do?
I don't want to skip too much over the way it happens. She locks Chucky in a cage. It's a playpen, but it's a cage. And it's like, all right, you're going to stay in there for a while because you have been bad. Meanwhile, he claws his way out of it while she is in a bubble bath watching Murder, She Wrote, R.I.P. Angela Lansbury.
Oh.
And then he just decides, I'm going to fucking shove this television into the bathtub on top of her, then do some more voodoo.
Dude, the voodoo fucking magic. Okay? Voodoo fucking magic, man. And she comes to life and delivers some of the best lines. He's like, oh, Tiff, you look great. Something and another like that. And she hits him with, psh, you wish you could get this. It ain't like you got the body of G.I. Joe.
I'll say it 100 times. Like, Chucky is Chucky. It's my favorite part of the movie. Because, like, he's given these, in anyone else's mouth, horseshit lines. He's just giving them that full Chucky treatment no matter what.
So, I actually watched the sequel to this week as well, Seed of Chucky. Have you guys seen that?
It's fucking dog shit awful. Like, I don't even enjoy it in a funny way.
No, it's so bad. But this took place, 10 years before that or something? Maybe not 10, but close to it. And the mouth movements, everything on what the Chucky doll does is so much better here than it was in the sequel to this.
Well, see, there was talent here. Like, it doesn't even matter how you feel about the movie. There's some, good ideas here.
Yeah. Unlike the idea of how we're going to move the plot along. With $1,000 doll livery. That's right, folks. He's going to get paid $1,000 so he can put his girl through college to move these two dolls to Jersey, no questions asked.
Well, that's a lot of money to a 30-year-old kid.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tiffany is making this little wedding dress doll into Tiffany doll. Dyeing her hair blonde, putting on that black lipstick, getting that black leather jacket with spike. I don't know where she got this doll-sized black leather jacket, but it fits perfect. It looks good.
See, that's a reasonable question, but too bad that Chucky's too busy just being like, damn! The entire fucking scene is hilarious.
His eyes are he's got his little eyebrows raising. Now, when things like this happen in a movie, she just magically had everything. It's because it doesn't matter, and the movie's got a movie. I can accept shit like this, but when it's plot related and they're just like, whatever, don't worry about it, that's when I get upset. Luckily, this movie doesn't really have a plot, so you don't have to worry about it.
No, you're right. The plot's extremely thin. It's basically just I don't know, a horror movie Tommy Boy. It's just we gotta get to point B. Why? "You don't understand. Get to point B." And we're like, "Okay, where's point B?" And then you realize it's New Jersey, and you're like, "Nah, let's go back."
The plot is, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a doll.
Oh. The whole idea is that Chucky needs to get back into his own body using this amulet that was on his corpse when he died and is buried in New Jersey. I don't know where this movie starts out at, but evidently at some point they have to close a border? Is this in Canada? Are these Canadians?
I don't know. None of this makes sense. None of this matters. Just move on.
I know I'm the one that's always hung up on geography, but I have some questions.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier. What is the canonical whatever with this movie? Because, there's no reason why Detroit Murder Man should be in New Jersey. What is this? Who picked that? What kind of decision making is this?
Maybe that was his hometown. Maybe he was born and raised Hackensack, ended up moving to Detroit later on in life.
Also, piece of shit serial killer guy. He's in the morgue. He's like, "Oh, we finally got this piece of garbage. Wait, his will states that he would like to be pleasantly buried in his home state. Well, I guess we'll just have to do it. It's such a nice thing to do."
Maybe it's this guy's such a piece of shit. He only deserves to be buried in New Jersey.
Well, we see whenever they get to his grave later on, that wherever the fuck he's buried is just the most generic shit ever. It's like a straw ground with a hole.
I was having a real good laugh at the presentation section of the Spirit Halloween that he's buried in.
Yep. Gravesite A.
The grave that they dig, we're not there yet, but the grave that they dig is just massive.
Well, he is anatomically correct, so.
Oh my god. I'm all rubber, baby.
So the idea is the two high school lovers, they're gonna elope while they take these dolls to New Jersey. John Ritter ends up getting got.
Yeah, he gets turned into Pinhead with this fucking airbag nail situation because they're competing for who can have the coolest kill. We get this one, and they stash a body. Moments later, we get one where they have a pig roast.
Yeah, I like how when he actually does get the nails stuck into his face, we still get Chucky that looks familiar. Just another homage there, I guess.
Yeah, he just killed John Ritter. He's like, yeah, I've seen that guy somewhere.
Yeah. Watch
yes.
Three's Company? Is that what he was all about?
Three's Company.
No, it's those episodes of Scrubs where he played JD's dad.
I like the specificness.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so niche. Now, we get a plot point here where these kids are eloping and they decide to get married. This scene has got to be one of the most awkward fucking scenes in the entire movie, maybe in the entire history of film, just because when you watch it, neither character looks like they're into A, the part, B, the scene, and 3, they don't seem to know, they have no chemistry and they have to kiss, and oh my god, it looks awful.
But that's the whole movie when it surrounds them. Katherine Heigl and that other dude, no matter what they're doing when they're on screen, they just all seem just comfortably bored.
Yeah, we're told you guys are not the stars.
It's true though. They are they're driving the plot, but nobody cares about them.
Literally driving the plot.
Yeah.
All the way to fucking New Jersey.
But they do look just kind of uncomfortable the whole time. Just, I don't know that it is uncomfortable with the role, uncomfortable with what their character's doing. Just unsure. Did they just read them the script one page at a time so they don't know what their character is supposed to be feeling or what? Do they know that they're not actually the murderers? Who knows?
It could be because of the director. I looked at his filmography, and I think he was just one of the fellas who were just unfortunately just yoinked out of China because of Hollywood. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon blew up. It's oh, we need Asian director man. They're okay, he's got talent. I don't know. I just feel there could have been some dissonance when they were trying to shoot this thing.
I haven't even looked to see who the director of this, despite it. Man, words. I am completely sober too, in case you were wondering.
Wow, it's insane. I am the opposite. Let's go.
Well, if you're sober, would you suggest that would go with this movie?
Man, I was wondering how we were going to work this out. What I've got here today is Chucky. It's a killer wit beer from Elysian Brewing Company out of Seattle, Washington. This is the namesake beer, or whatever you want to call it. So this is actually a pumpkin wit beer, 5.3% alcohol by volume, brewed with cranberry. It smells like pumpkin spice. little sweet, little citrusy, but definitely a lot of that pumpkin spice, cinnamon, cardamom, things like that. It's not overwhelming. Usually when you get pumpkin spice flavored beers, it's a really heavy beer. This is light, delicate. You could still get those pumpkin flavors. I don't really get a whole lot of cranberry, but maybe that's what I'm picking up that citrus from. It's a little bit weird, but it's still pretty damn good.
I'll tell you what was pretty damn good. The fact that they had to get a honeymoon suite and they meet these two swingers, both of which are way better than the main characters. And they decide to steal $500. Now, $500, this is in 98. $500 was a lot of fucking money back then. And Tiffany sees it and she's like, we're going to get revenge. And we get a pretty damn cool kill. Not in the sense that the kill itself is super cool, but the build-up. We get to see Tiffany as she's running back and forth and setting up with this champagne bottle. It's a lot of fun, and there's a literal explosion with this water bottle.
I was going to bring that up because this whole thing conspires next door to our two main, I guess, final guy and gal, and they didn't hear the crash, scream, kaboom. Nah, they're just chilling in their undies, having a good time.
Yeah, if we haven't mentioned it yet, these kids are on the run. They are being pursued by the police because they're the suspect of now 3 murders. And this is 4 and 5 they're going to be the suspect of.
I just realized the whole, accidental murderers thing, but not actually the perpetrators. It just reminds me of Tuck and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, you're right. This whole kill looks pretty cool. You get the champagne bottle up into the swingers just doing their thing down on the waterbed. Swinging, yeah. It shoots up into the ceiling mirror, which of course you're going to have at the Niagara Falls Honeymoon Suites Motel.
Is that why they moved the whole geography of the movie just so they could go to that one fucking honeymoon hotel in the middle of nowhere? It's like, no, this is perfect. This is the apex of film.
Sure, if that's the reason, it's better than nothing, I guess.
Well, apparently whatever Chucky is packing is better than nothing because we get some doll sex, and it's not even fun Team America doll sex.
I was going to say, as soon as I saw the stupid silhouettes, the shadows, I was like, man, Team America did this so much better. But then he rolls the line of he's all rubber, and I was like, God damn it.
Wait. Do you have a rubber? A rubber? Bitch, I'm all rubber.
Yes, and I believe him.
Oh, so did she. Well, the next day comes around and everyone's having fucking doubts. And let me tell you what, the best friend decides to show up and he's like, poo-poo, something stinks in the back of this truck and neither of you guys are the killers. Oh my God, one of you is the killer. Guns, guns, guns.
Yeah, and then best friend gets turned into tapioca. All right.
Yeah, I cannot believe that they had a homophobic semi in this movie.
Why do you say that?
Because gay bastard man. Did that just make you speechless, Eric?
I'm trying not to laugh in the mic.
Okay, so they're at this motel in Niagara Falls. Obviously, they've taken a road trip to get here. They're on their way to New Jersey. Their gay best friend just shows up wanting to clear up some things. In Niagara Falls, the next thing you know, he is in their van taking the trip with them to New Jersey. Did he just leave his car? How did he get to that motel in the first place? And did he just leave his car there?
Look, you're going to have to listen to We Couldn't Hire Seth Green Alone.
Damn.
Who he actually reminded me of? Who's the guy from Tucker and Dale? The little one?
Oh, yeah. He's
the pirate guy from Dodgeball?
Yeah.
He's got a name that I recognize if I hear it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Well, he reminds me of that guy. Except, little gay.
And now we get doll exposition and a magic trip to an RV where we get to see that the previous owners, a elderly couple, have been murdered while Tiffany goes on to show us that she likes to cook meatballs and cookies. But Chucky, he doesn't like to do the dishes.
Give this movie whatever. I kind of wanted more of Chucky's marital problems because I didn't give a shit about these 30-year-old teenagers to be like, I still want that $500 when we get to New Jersey,
Dude, yeah, they never stopped. He never stopped trying to deliver these dolls. It was all about this $500. He had to get that money.
Well, no, like she was tied up and he's at like gunpoint by Chucky. Like he needs to go to New Jersey so he can become a real boy again.
Oh no, it's Pinocchio.
Yeah, he's got a little Pinocchio going on downstairs. You know what I mean? I am anatomically correct. He says that.
Hey-o.
Why does the good guy doll have a penis?
Because he's a good guy.
All right.
So this is where everything escalates, and we get to our big finale of a third act. Chucky doesn't want to do the dishes. Tiffany is like, oh, hell no. They fucking Jerry Springer it out in the middle of an RV. It gets into a crash where Chucky escapes, taking Jesse's girl hostage, and we get Jesse, who leaps from the RV in one of the worst CG copy pastes I've ever seen in my life. And Tiffany gets a little charred up, but she gets taken along for the ride by her hair. And I lost my shit laughing at the noises she made. With each step, he jiggles her, and she's like,
Okay, it seems like a little thing, but like when that scene was rolling, I did kind of think like, huh, what do you do with that? Did she stay just like completely silent as you're knowingly hurting her and just like tossing her around? Or do you add a little something?
I think you gotta add a little something. Right?
Yeah, you gotta add a little something for the Charby doll.
Ah, beautiful, actually.
Yeah, that's a good one. Now, the RV wreck is something I want to talk about. Okay, what are they escaping from when he does his little jump out? There's like water coming through. And...
Oh man, it turned into like some like bullshit 90s action movie for a hot minute, like it was Die Hard on an RV. Like there was water from the sink on the floor, like a conduit wire was hanging from the ceiling for some reason, and he's grabbing it like, get out of here, you're safe, I got it held. And all this culminated into like, I think the gas started leaking and it exploded. What? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then some doves started flying, and
I saw the dove.
Martha Stewart.
Fuck Martha Stewart, indeed.
I love like the natural distance because like Chucky's been away for like 10, 15 years and actually doesn't know who she is. So like when he drops the line like, who the fuck is Martha Stewart? I'm just like, you're right. He doesn't know.
And honestly, in 1998, I feel like that's a vibe that we could all sort of get behind. No disrespect, Miss Stewart, but fuck her, right?
She served more jail time than most. Be careful.
She killed a man.
Baked him into a goddamn pie.
And she ate him. No.
There comes the cannibalism again.
Yep.
So at this point, we reach the grave of Charles Lee Ray. Mm-hmm. The whole point of this is where we're trying to get to so we can get this amulet of Damballa so he can get back into a human body again. And it's supposed to be the body of Jesse, this teenage hunky boy. Tiffany's going to put her body back in Katherine Heigl, whatever her character's name is. Yeah. That's what we're here for, right?
I mean, a very sweet reunion between Chucky and Tiffany. And this, to me, was very sweet. This is what I'm here for. This is Chucky and Tiff. And they do a hostage exchange. Jesse's girl for Tiffany. He's like, I'll see you real soon. And Tiffany's walking over, and she's clearly all charred up.
Yeah.
And looking like a fucking chimney sweep. And she goes, catch me, Chucky. And he's like, ugh. And just moves and lets her fucking eat the dirt.
She must have gained weight. There's all those cookies she baked.
Oh.
Fact. Melted to her.
Oh, no. Look, this is the part of the movie I like the best. Like, this whole graveyard scene, even though it looked like it was shot in, like, the set of QVC somewhere, like, I really loved the part where, like, Chucky is just looking at his old dead body. There's something about it that, like, that's a brilliant idea of just, like, bringing it full circle, but, like, I kind of thought it was also unfortunate that the rest of the movie's a comedy.
You broke my fucking neck.
He's coming to terms with his own humanity while all at the same time turning into Wolverine while screaming as him and Tiffany begin a brawl for it all with shovels.
Yeah, that lightsaber duel they had in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And before he gets started trying to do voodoo shit, did you catch this other little throw out? It's showtime.
Oh, nice. No, I missed it.
Is that The Mask starring Jim Carrey?
You got it.
Somebody smoke me.
That's what. I think that was Tiffany.
I know they're dolls, but like them getting like whacked in the side of the head with a shovel seems kind of devastating for some reason.
Not getting stabbed.
It's the sound effects.
Not getting stabbed. They both actually end up getting stabbed here, right? Because
oh yeah, it's true.
Tiffany takes Chucky's knife and is like, "We belong together in hell." And then Chucky's like, but he stabs
"Get off
her.
my knife, bitch.
Get off my knife." Yeah. What you said. Yeah.
And that's definitely a reference to 1995's Air Force One when Harrison Ford said, "Get off my plane." See?
Oh, all coming back around.
Chucky does have a really good moment, though. The police show up, or at least a cop does.
You mean not Donald Pleasance?
Yes. I was going to say suspiciously like the guy from Halloween.
And it's just like cop, right? Like he just trench coat, badge, tie. What do we got here? Yep. Oh my Jesus. You know.
Well, nobody's going to believe this. You guys go home.
Dude, yes.
Later, dude. Even though they live 1,000 miles away, seemingly.
And their RV is on fire right now. Not even their RV, but
too.
Yeah, the RV that they stole to get here. By the way, its owners are still inside and dead and probably ablaze.
Yes. But what made me laugh is when I realized that this public servant didn't even offer them a ride somewhere.
Oh. He's got to stick around and try and explain this shit.
No, he's got to stick around and start like poking burnt shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What he does offer is his revolver to Jesse's girl, who gives us a gratuitous Chucky death, as to be expected. And Chucky gives a great line. And you keep saying there's homages to other horror. He references the entire franchise, the entire genre, and says, "I'll be back. You know I'll be back."
Absolutely.
But dying is such a bitch. And then she blows him away.
There's a line that I didn't get to mention earlier, but I'm going to throw it out right here. When they actually discover, these dolls can talk. How did you end up like this? He's like, "Oh, well, it's a long story. In fact, it'd probably take at least 3 or 4 sequels if they made a movie out of it."
No, I totally dug it. I was like, all right, fine. Because at that point, I was like, the hell with it.
This movie ends with that detective just sort of poking a ray at Tiffany's charred and melted corpse. And we get the jump scare that she's sort of still alive. And she's in labor!
Oh no, it's the pred alien.
Eric, I need you to set me up. I need you to go, but where does her baby even come from? Or something like that. Because I got a line.
Well, where the hell does her baby even come from?
Plastic dicks and pussies, baby. Plastic dicks and pussies.
What?
And there you have it.
Yeah, not a favorite of mine, but it's shitty in all the right ways to make it a fun ride of nonsense. This is what you normally see at the end of a horror franchise when you know it's on the back end. I won't say it's the best way to go out, but at least I laughed.
I didn't really like it, but I didn't really hate it. It definitely feels like a product of the ladies. Was I happy with the direction? Not really, but it's not heinous. It's not great, but that's just me.
See, this is unironically my favorite film of the Child's Play series. It's funny in all the right ways. It's cheesy in all the right ways. It's campy in all the right ways. It's not exactly scary. There are a few jump scares in there, but it reinvents the Child's Play series, and that really needed to happen after Child's Play 3. Without this movie, we wouldn't have anything in the Chucky franchise that we have today, and for that, at least, I have nothing but thanks for this movie.
Well, there you have it. That was Bride of Chucky. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in the comment section below.
Please be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to bash that bell icon down there in the corner if you're on YouTube, so you know what we've got brewing up next.
Get out there and follow us on social media. We've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. We're all over the damn place. Like he mentioned, we're on the YouTubes. You can find us anywhere. Podcasts are available. We're worth listening to. And if you give us a chance, maybe we can curse you with a little bit of voodoo magic. And if you're lucky, you'll have a shark chase you to the Caribbean.